Okay, in this video, I'm going to go through the basics on how to use turn dates, specifically FDate turn dates, for timing your trades and finding trade setups. Now, for this example, I've decided to do the Australian dollar. It's the first chart that comes up in my list. So I just thought I'd go ahead and call that up. And I've plotted every single FDate from the August 20th FDate report all the way to the current FDate report, which I believe is November. Let's see what it would be here. Reports. So we're talking about the November 25th, so 15 weeks, 15 reports. Now I've plotted all the FDates that were from each one of those reports onto this chart. And I want to show you the logic on how to apply the FDate, as well as determining which FDate to use, which FDates to ignore, and what to do with the FDates that maybe don't result in a turn. So these are the things that all of us are going to be presented with. So I think it's all encompassed in this chart. Now, the point of using FDates is to trade with the trend. And I'm going to get a little basic in this video because I don't know who's, the person who's watching, what your experience level is as far as identifying trends, swings, and how to use turn dates. So some of you are already experts at this now. Some of you are brand new. And so this is level for all those who are new, and then maybe others might actually learn something or be reminded of something from this. Okay, what I have done here on this chart, I'm using my Provisions charting software, and I've plotted the FDates on a daily chart of the Australian dollar. Now, I currently have just regular open, high, low, close bars. They're the color bars. Of course, you can always change the chart to different bars like candlesticks if you choose. I'm just going to go ahead and leave them as the OHLC bars. I like them for drawing pointed lines and so forth, as you'll see with the swing tool. Now, as you can see here, we have prices moving down. We have FDates listed here. These are all the FDates of those 15 reports, every one of them. Started with 824, 829, $ FDate 830. So apparently here, from one report to the next, the date changed from 829 to 830. That's why you have them like this. You won't normally see them one day apart. 9-2, 9-14, 9-16, 9-21, 9-26, 9-29, 10-5, 10-10. We have 10-24, 10-28, 11-4. And over here, $, which is $, FDate 11-9, 11-16, 11-22. And the last one on the current report is $, 11-30, which, by the way, head and bring up the prices here for today, because it's too early to download today's prices, so I'm going to have to manually enter them. Let me just go ahead and do this real quick so that you can see. There's December Australian dollar. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come over here to the what if tool, double click it. You'll see it adjust here, display it, boom, store it. All right, there we go. So you can see that one worked out. Okay, great. Now, let me save that. So what you want to do is you want to trade with the trend. And so what does that mean? Okay, in its most basic form, I'm going to plot the 2-bar swing here just for a quick demonstration. Then we're going to go back to a 1-bar swing. I just hit the number 2 on the keyboard. Now you see when prices moves down, makes a swing low, moves up. makes a swing high that's lower than the previous swing high, and then goes down and then breaks below the previous swing low, you are in a downtrend. And notice it's just continually making these lower swing tops and bottoms all the way down to here. Then prices started making higher swing, or in this case, higher swing bottoms. Okay, so once it came down to here, and if we go to the weekly chart, you'll see that we had a weekly swing forming here. Then it was higher swing bottoms, higher swing tops, higher swing bottoms, and now you have a little falling short and moving higher until here. Okay, so this whole thing goes all the way up to here. So the whole idea, the rules are very simple. These are guidelines, but rules of the guidelines. You're free to use this or not, but I want to show you how effective it is and why it had been incorporated in the guidelines for 2 decades now. This has been part of the guidelines. So is that you want to look for lower swing tops to short, and you want to look for higher swing bottoms to go long. And you want to do this in a trend where you have this higher swing bottoms or lower swing tops. Okay, so let's start off first. This is what I do is I go with the 1-bar swings. It's a little more active, you might say. And I'll show you shortly how to deal with the real minor ones that might seem to go off track. But we have prices coming down here, and up to this point, it's been an uptrend. So now all of a sudden, price is now making a lower low, and we come to an 824 F date, which this price bar here, this swing, or at the time this bar was formed, you didn't know it was going to be a swing, except for we were expecting one with the F date. We would not buy this because of the fact that it made a lower swing bottom. So remember, you buy if it's higher swing bottom, not lower. You want to continue in a bull trend. But when it came up, and this price bar came up to the 829 area, and what I like to do also is I also like to plot Fibonacci retracement, for example. And I'd like to see that price has at least gone up to or beyond 382 and all the way up to 887. So anywhere within, okay, let's get rid of that. So as long as this price moves up and is anywhere in range and does not exceed the previous high, and in this case, if because we are now making lower swing bottoms, we are now setting up for a bear trend, possible at 829. It hadn't quite happened yet until price moved below here. But on the weekly chart, you can take a look at that and see if, hey, we are expecting a weekly swing top. And we also have weekly F dates to help us do that. So we have what's called pre-confirmation cell setups. Anyway, I don't want to get too thick in the woods. I want to stick with the basics. So in this case here, notice that we have this possible swing, lower swing high. There's a turn date, an F date turn date, and it's lower than the previous swing high. So we can trade this if we want, and we can short this if we want. Now you can choose to short it when it breaks below the low of that bar. That's when it's actually confirmed. Or you may be trading, you may use charting software that shows intraday price swings, and you might during an intraday see that it's forming some kind of indication that this high is likely going to hold. You can treat that as resistance on your intraday chart. And let me get that in there. Okay, so once you've plot your resistance and you're trading based on this swing, expected swing top here, you can go to your 5-minute chart, hour chart, whatever it is that you prefer to do. And as long as it respects that high, You could be shorting this market as a day trader. Just keep shorting all the rally ups during the intraday, and if it breaks below the low of here, it will confirm that lower swing top, and will likely the market overall will continue to go lower. And that's what these FDates help us to do. Now, that's what happened the very next day. Prices went lower and confirmed that as a lower swing top. And the following day, prices rallied up, even though closing lower, it rallied up. And the interesting thing is that, we had the next FDate report that then showed we had a dollar sign FDate for 830, which is right here, 830. So we can do the same thing we did before. Why? Because it is lower than the previous swing top here. So again, you can intraday trade as long as it respects that high. Just take it, and if it goes lower like it did here the next day, it confirmed it as a lower swing top, you are definitely in a bearish trend. Prices go lower, then once again prices rise up to an FDate 9.2. And oh, and by the way, I didn't mention, notice this 824 FDate made this lower swing bottom. You don't trade that. You ignore it, or you take note of it, but you wouldn't trade it. So you notice that we will not be looking to trade every FDate. For those of you who are new to FDates, we're not looking to trade every FDate. We use them to alert us of where these swings are likely to happen. And so it did so here, 829 did so here, and 830 did so here. But we were only concerned about the lower swing top. The lower swing top gave us multiple opportunities to sell into this market. As it continued to move lower, both of these got confirmed. We came down. Now we're at 9.2. Again, we have an opportunity here where we have a potential lower swing top. And again, it confirmed it. Prices moved lower. And so all the way down, we had all these nice sells. 3 FDates provided us with all these opportunities to sell. Excellent profits here. Now I'm going to show you something very important. This is a little more advanced understanding of swings. Notice here that this price bar, okay, this rally up goes beyond the previous swing top. Now, if you go strictly by the lower swing top rule, of course, then you would not be trading this because it is now higher than this. However, one thing you want to note how minor this is. But here's the easy way to do this. Take off the 1 bar swing, put the 2 bar swing in. And so now you can see that this is lower than the last 2 bar swing here. These are just minor little places, little swings within this long move down. And I can plot that in there so you can see we had 2 of them in there, 2 waves. And if you want to be real strict and just don't use 1 bar swings, that's fine. But look, you had opportunity here, here, and here. Might as well take them, right? But the fact that this went above this previous swing top should not negate this as a potential lower swing top and a continuation of the trend going down, because the 2 bar swing clearly shows that we are still in this bearish pattern going down. All right, so I wanted to make sure that you understood that. Let's get rid of that, go back to the 1. So you take this 914, you come down here to 916. Clearly it's a lower low than the previous swing bottom in a downtrend. We would not trade this 916. And then we have a $sign 921, and we see we have an opportunity here. for this price bar right here. And you can, since it's a small range, you can wait and short it the next day to make sure it confirms. Or again, you can intraday trade on the short side, because remember, you want to keep everything to the short side. Every time there's a run up to some intraday resistance level without exceeding the top. Okay, so I'll do this often. I will go down to my 5 minute, my 1 minute. I'll have the 9 EMA on there, I have the 55 EMA on there, and I'll use previous day high, previous day close for intraday resistance and support levels. Maybe for another video, but anyway, you can, if you're a day trader, this gives you direction, this gives you reference, because you know that this is likely going to form a lower weekly swing top within this time period. So you're expecting this to happen. All right, so then you get in. It is definitely a good $sign 921 lower swing top. Prices continue down. Now 926. 926 is an oddball because it did not provide any kind of a swing, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway because it was a lower low than here on a downwards. We don't care. We ignore it. We don't trade it. We don't try to go long. And so this one here produced nothing for us. Okay, so there's going to be turn dates that turn out to be nothing, or they turn out to be acceleration days, or they turn out to be holiday gaps, or odd things like that. But as you can see, they are not common. They're more rare than common. It's like 1 or 2 out of 10. You might see that. But then again, we would have ignored it even if it was right on the money. What difference does it make? It just tends to be voided. Just like 929. 929, we would not use this 929 because it was a lower low than the previous 916 low here in a downtrend. It did make a higher high, but this is clearly a reversal bar. I mean, just look at the bar. But if you wanted to, you certainly are within the guidelines, as this could be a possible lower swing top to 921. As long as it respected the high, you could have intraday trade shorted it, and during the day you likely would have done well, because as you can see, it never did go above the high, right? But anyway, eventually it does, and it comes up here to 10.5 F date. So from 929, we finally get another F date for 10.5. We had nothing here. It comes up to 10.5. Remember, I've listed every F date in order. I left none out. They're all on this chart, all right? And you can see that it's a high that's lower than the previous swing top high, and we're still doing the lower high thing here. Okay, the trend hasn't changed yet. Same thing, you can intraday trade, or you can wait for it to confirm the next day, which it does, and then stay in it. Move your stops down as whatever your risk management method is, use it, and take this down, and you can see it comes all. Now notice 1010 produced nothing, just like 926 produced nothing. But then again, who cares? We wouldn't have been able to do anything with 1010 because it's a lower low than 929. Okay, and it just happened to be, it looks like here, 2 days off of the bottom. So we didn't have any date for the bottom. 1010 is the closest one. So apparently it was a very strong bear down, and if I remember, yes, it was. And so it just kind of blew past it down to 1013 right here, which we wouldn't be trading that either if we had it. And so then prices moved up here. Now, if we had an F date here, okay, it would have been a lower high than here, and we could have used it, but we had no F date until 1024. So from 1010, the next one was 1024. And so here, interestingly, we see that we have a low that's higher than the previous swing bottom low. If on the weekly chart we see that we have a potential weekly swing bottom forming for a weekly F date, then this would be a pre-confirmation buy setup. And in this case here, same thing. You can get in by confirmation. It's a very large bar though. You will be exposing yourself to a lot of risk that way. I would highly recommend more trying to get in intraday and just making sure that it respects this low during the day. But you just keep keep a stop loss or something there just in the event that it decides to break out of this range and go down even more. But you may notice if it's at support, I don't know, maybe it's at FDate support. I mean Fibonacci. Yes, 786. So, you can do something like that. Make sure it's at some kind of support and then start trading accordingly. Then, of course, as prices move above the previous swing high here, now we are officially in a bullish trend. So now we're officially made higher swing bottom. We've officially make higher swing top. Okay, we are now in an upward trend. So we're going to keep looking for those higher swing bottoms and higher swing tops. So we go to 1028 and we can see that 1028 is definitely higher than this swing top here. And so, and I don't believe, this, if you'll notice here with the 2-bar swing, and I don't want to ignore this part here. If you see here with the 2-bar swing, the 1028 is lower than the 10.5. So you might look at it as we did over here. However, this down here, if you look on in the weekly chart, let me go to the weekly chart. This was 1013. So if you go to the weekly chart, 10 right here, that's this one right here. It confirmed as a weekly swing bottom. You do not want to go against the weekly, and if the last weekly swing is a bottom and you don't have any indication that you're going to be making a weekly swing top, then you don't want to be shorting that. And even if you did have an indication that this was going to make a following weekly swing top, it would have been the top and you still would not be able to short that. You can only do lower swing tops. Okay, so in this case here, we remain bullish. All right, we come down here, we don't have an F date here, we don't have an F date here, we can ignore that. Then it comes down here to 11.4. And we can see the low here is higher than the 1024. We're still in this bull pattern here. So this is a buy. We can buy, we come up here, we pull back. The next F date is 11.9 $sign. Now, this 11.9, by the way, literally falls right here in the middle of these two swings. So if you're going, well, which one do I use it for? Well, the one that goes with the trend. Obviously, you can't use it for this one because it's making higher swing tops here, but you can certainly use it for this one, higher swing bottoms. It becomes an effective higher swing bottom. Prices move up really well. So obviously the $sign part here is the bottom. Goes all the way up to the next F date, which isn't until 11.16. Okay, so we come up to here. Okay, we don't sell this. All right, because it's a higher high than the previous swing tops. But prices then pull back to the next F date, which was just not too long ago. Today's December 2nd. And you can see that it is a higher low than the previous swing bottom. And if you want, you can check for support or something, trend line off of tops. I can visually see that right there. Okay, here's that top, that bottom, clear as mud. Okay, so then you can start trading this to the bullish side. Prices move up. We don't have an F date here, just ignore it. Prices move down. We don't have an F date here, so we don't have an opportunity to get in again. We're still long from here. assuming you didn't move your stop all the way up, you're still in. But we come all the way up here to this dollar sign, 1130, and this is today's price bar, 12.2, that I just put in. You can see that it has just confirmed 1130 as a swing top. It's a higher swing top, so we don't do anything with this. We look for prices to pull back to the next F date, which we don't have that yet. It may be one of these. These are just notes that I have on my charts. But today is Friday, so I'll be working on the F date report possibly today or tomorrow. And then you can see whether we have a potential to buy here or here or here, as long as what? It is higher than this swing bottom here, or make sure to check the if the price bar comes just below this but is still above this, will the 2-bar work? Let's see. Yeah, it will not. Okay, that's the 2-bar right there. So it must be higher than that one right there. Okay, you see how I did that? So if we have an F date, and let's assume it is the 12.5. So right now, this one here is 12.2, so this would actually be a candidate, or it may go down 1 more bar, or 2 more bars for that matter, as long as it's within 12.5, and as long as it doesn't go below this higher low right here. And so what you want to do is you want to get your support levels in. So we'll get that trend line in there, for example. So I'm already preparing you for the next trade here. Okay, and then of course you can have right there, you want to be above that. Okay, you want to be above that. Or here's a support level here using the 2 last swing bottoms here. Or you can add the the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so you come in here and you can see I put the 618, I can put the 786, and I can put the 887. I'll get those in there. Okay, and I will also want to, and I can get rid of this now, unclog. So these are my levels starting next week, 12.5, that I'll be looking for. And if I see price fall on one of these levels here and hold, and it's within the F date, then I can start trading it to the bullish side in expectation for a higher swing top to be occurring at this time. And that's how I would trade the next F date. And if it blows through, if the prices next week blows through this previous higher swing bottom right here that was made on November 29th, if it blows through that, then all bets are off. We are now making lower swing bottoms, and we may be getting into a trend change. And then of course you can look at your weekly chart, see if you have a possible weekly swing top that's in formation, using your weekly F dates to help you with that. In case if you see the high is at resistance, you may be a little hesitant to be going long. I don't worry too much about it unless it just really like in stone that there's a weekly top already. If I truly believe that 1130, for example, is the next weekly top, if I believe that, then as far as going long, I'm going to day trade it, but I'm going to be expecting a lower swing high to be forming come the next F date. And I'll be aggressive in keeping my stops, moving it up. And this would be a completely day trading for me all the way up if I really felt. But in this case here, as to whether there is a weekly swing top forming at this time, I'm not convinced of that. I have 12.9 showing here. So we may be going higher to make the 12.9. The 11.25, that's already this higher swing bottom, so we're still bullish. You can also use your weekly support levels. I can draw a trend line here, for example, and right off those lows, and I can use that. Let me show you a little trick here. Let me get rid of that. Okay, you can use the num trend tool if you're using provisions charting. There it is. And so, for example, let's do this. We're going to use a couple of them here. You can go off this bottom, and then for the week of 12.9, we click that. We see 0.6697. Go to the daily. Yes, I want to save that. Go to daily. Make sure. Let's see. Do we already have that? What did I say that was? 6697. Okay. It's pretty close to that one right there. $6697 would put it. Let me just go and put a line for 6697. Okay, so it's right there. So you can get your support and resistance off your weekly chart. All right. So for example, you see that low right there. Okay, previous bar low. You can take that. Okay, and that value is 66.35. You go to your daily. Let's see, 66.35, is it already accounted for? Nope. How about here? Nope. And we can't use it because it would be below the previous swing bottom, so we can ignore that. That would not be a good one. Okay, so we have this weekly high here. Which one is it? Let's see, that's 67.24. Go to your daily. 67.24 would be, wow, it'd be just about at that line right there. That's 67.26, so that could be substantial there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in there we go. So I can see there's two lines there. And these I would plot on my intraday chart as well to get those levels in. So this one here's got a double whammy. I think we got this off of an F date, and it is also off of the previous high here. And then we have the high here. We can use this one too because it's really close by. And that high is 68.05. Let's see where that would put us. 68.05. Maybe too high would be inside bar. Yeah, so it would be way up in here. And you could still use it if you're going to intraday this, but I'm not going to put that on because we're actually talking about prices moving lower than here for looking for support. So if it does not move down into here, then this may be the higher swing bottom because it's within a day of the turn date, assuming that's going to be on the report. I won't know at this point. And you might watch this intraday and then you could use that 68, whatever that price was. I think that's way up here though. So yeah, if that was the hold intraday, then that'd be something to look at, but I'll leave that up to you. I just want to give you some pointers here on some of the things that I do to get into, because I personally am risk adverse. I don't like to have a big risk exposure. I like to know right away if I'm wrong, and that means I'm going to have a little bit of risk. And if it crosses a certain support or resistance that I have said, no, 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 I am just going to get out. I'm going to take my losses. Taking losses is part of successful trading. You've got to get comfortable. You don't know how many times that I take small losses. Almost every time I trade, I'm taking small losses, and I just move on to the next trade because there's just so many opportunities. I'm just not going to worry about it. And don't stay in on hope, okay? Use the lines like I did here. Use support, resistance, and whatever. But hopefully you can see how to use these F dates, these turn dates, and how it got us into fantastic locations, wonderful lower swing tops all the way down, wonderful higher swing bottoms all the way up. 15 weeks is not a fluke, all right? And you had a bad F date here, you had a bad F date here. Who cares? You couldn't trade it anyway. So that's what are the things that we learn right here? One, we're going to trade with the trend. That means lower swing tops or higher swing bottoms. Two, that if you exceed a previous swing on the 1 bar swing, look at the 2 bar swing. You may still be able to take that swing if it's a lower top or a higher bottom, if it conforms to the trend, but on the 2 bar swing pattern. Don't go to 3 bar, that's now getting too far. But 1 bar or 2 bars, you can see how that was effective in 2 cases here. Another thing too is that we don't trade every F date. We only trade the ones that allow us to trade with the trend, as we've just determined how to do that. Lower swing tops, higher swing bottoms. Okay. Also remember that on the weekly time frame, you certainly don't want to go against the weekly move. So in other words, if you come to the weekly chart, and you can see here that a weekly swing bottom was just confirmed this week by prices moving higher. It confirmed the previous week as a higher weekly swing bottom. You certainly don't want to come in here and try to sell this, okay, unless you've already seen that the pattern has changed to a bearish pattern, or you have a potential lower swing top following a high. The previous swing top high on the daily chart is also a possible weekly swing top on the F date report. All right, well, that's a lot of information there. If you have any questions, of course, you can get a hold of me at rick@fdatesforum.com or rick@amazingaccuracy.com. I answer all the emails that I receive. Or you can comment on one of the market posts that I make from time to time. But I hope that helps you if you're not familiar, or I hope it gives you some ideas. Maybe you're already an expert at it, but maybe there's something I mentioned here you never thought of that would improve your trading. So there you go. But it's very simple, very simple. We can do this all day long. Okay, just remember that, put on that 1 bar swing or put on that 2 bar swing or use them both. Very, very effective. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.